the red dots.
All right, we're good to go, ready to rock and roll. Beep. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us today for another episode of the 99 Time Capsule. I'm your host, George White. That's me, George White. That's me. Hello. And today we have a very special guest joining us today at the lovely Verve Lounge in the back area. He is a DJ, a father. He is an entrepreneur and a proud Hoshian. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Emge. I don't know how to say your last name.
Emge.
Emge?
Emge, yeah.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
You're not trolling me.
No, sir.
Emge. I always, I've always said Emge.
You know what? It happens so often, I just don't even care. What the worst part is when people are like Emerg or Emig, and I'm like, there's not even an R, number one. And then number two, there's nothing between the M and the G, and you're just forgetting the E at the end. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's
but, you know, it's always been mispronounced, and that's okay. It's not very common.
Yeah. Okay. Paul Emge. What is that?
It's German.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Deutschland?
Deutschland. I can't speak an ounce of German.
Sprechen die Deutsch?
Danke?
Danke. Danke schön.
I don't know if I'd want to speak German. I'm not a very angry person, and that's just an angry sounding language.
Well, I feel like if you are a peaceful person, I feel like you are, and then you speak German, I think it will translate.
Yeah, but then you have to sound angry to speak German. I think just the
just the emphasis.
Emphasis, on certain sounds and things that would make you just have to sound angry just to get it. It's not a natural language for me, so
yeah.
Hey, whatever.
I mentioned that you're a DJ, and that's kind of how I met you as the sound guy at the Verve /DJ.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been DJing?
Oh, Jesus. Well,
first of all, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Oh, really?
I am, yeah.
I thought you were a year older than me, but you're a year younger than me.
Oh, so you're...
Yeah.
So every time I'm here, I could just slow clap that I'm not the oldest person in this bar.
Yeah, every time I'm here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. 39 years old, man. I've been DJing. I started doing nightclub stuff or bar stuff, however you want to do it. I started doing that when I was 22. About 22 and a half, almost 23 years old. So I've been doing it for 17 years now.
Dang.
Just in the bar and nightlife stuff. I did a couple things when I was younger. Started in high school. Did my first gig when I was 14. But it was for like the high school club. And, when you do that, you're just like, oh, they paid for this equipment. I get to go do this. Okay. So I go do it. And that was the first gig I ever did.
Oh, so since you were 22, you've been a paid DJ.
Pretty much, yeah. And then up until that time, it was either I just did college house parties for fraternities or whatever, sororities, formals. I would get paid to do those, but it wasn't, $200. Take my home speaker system in there and my computer and hook it all up and press buttons and just play songs. That's how I really got started.
Okay, so you weren't you didn't have two turntables. You weren't.
Not when I first started. No, what they call the sync button DJ, I guess is what you would say I was up until that point. But yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as the YouTube video would end, you would have the other one preloaded with the ads already played through, and then you would have that ready to go.
Well, we're in the same generation, so YouTube wasn't really a thing back when I was in college. It was. I mean. The beginning of it at the end of my college career, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
But Winamp, because you could download all the skins and customize it and all that other fun stuff. So that's literally what I did is I would just load every song I had into Winamp. And I would go to these gigs and just play songs. And, that was the beginning of Napster, too.
Yeah.
All those songs are long gone off my laptop because of subscriptions and doing all this other stuff. But, yeah, that's how I did it back in the day was, the whole Napster thing. Coming to college with a hardwired internet connection. Yes, kids, hardwired internet connection, not just on your phone. You had to sit at a computer. And it wasn't a laptop.
Desktop plugged in.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have wireless back then. And so it just... Yeah.
What? I forgot. I completely forgot about Winamp, and then there was like WinZip and WinRAR and all this
Windows Media Player.
Yeah. They had all these Wins, and then Apple came out with the I's.
Yeah,
and then
iPod. That's where they
stole it all. Yeah, iPod, iPhone, iMac, iPod Shuffle.
Yeah, was that the first one?
No, that was the tiny one.
The little mini,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's the iPod Mini, and the Shuffle looked like what is now the Apple TV remote control.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
and it
yeah.
had a tiny screen. I guess that
Yep.
would have been that would have been the Mini, and the Shuffle was the one that was like the size of a quarter.
Right.
Yeah, holy shit.
You just load your songs on it and it just played whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Man, some old heads.
Old heads.
So you went to university.
Yes, I went to ISU.
Oh, so that's why you're
In Terre
a
Haute.
transplant, a
Yes,
Hoshin transplant.
Yeah, Hoshin transplant. Appreciate that, by the way, fellow Hoshin.
Fellow
Current
Hoshin
Hoshin
transplant.
Paul, yeah.
Yeah. What did you study?
What didn't I study? I was on the Van Wilder plan plus the college kid. Credit cards aren't real, but they give you money for free, kid. So I made a lot of bad decisions in college and took myself. I came to ISU in 2000 to originally be a pilot, but I'm really bad at math, and that's really important. And then also flight time. Yeah, I couldn't afford it. So moved on to. Big change to something else that I had passion about, which was literature, and I wanted to be an English teacher. But then I'm also thinking, well, now I'm in college and I'm rereading all the stuff that I took in high school, reporting on this stuff from high school. I'm bored. Switched it again to a theater teaching degree. It was something different, but still teaching. And then they dropped that program and just threw me into public relations, and then I got my degree in public relations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So do you handle PR for anyone?
No.
You've never used your degree?
I mean, I do to a certain extent, I would say. It's not something that I go out and search for, but I mean, on my day-to-day life interacting with people, I'd say those PR skills have come in handy, especially being here, doing the sound guy stuff, being a DJ, people having to talk to me and me having to help with bands. Yeah, I think we have to a certain extent. It has to a certain extent helped me in my journey, but it's not something that I consciously use or purposefully use every day.
What are some of the skills you like, just superficially, that you can think of offhand that you use in those day-to-day interactions?
I mean, just common speaking, journalism and marketing. My mind's always running on different ways to do things, or maybe if we did this would help out. And probably organizational skills, I would say, is what I got mostly out of my degree. Public relations is a very, very busy degree. Papers, you're constantly you're writing.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think anything from press statements, speeches, like all of these things that you would put out in front of media, which is what a PR person is essentially for. All that stuff is pre-written before you actually go out and talk about it, or everybody has
talking points.
Yeah, your talking points, but it's actually put in some sort of format. The president doesn't go up and make a speech without having, a piece of paper or somebody in his ear telling him word for word what to say.
Yeah.
It's always about a public image thing, and that's something else I didn't really care for. That's why I didn't go into it professionally. Is I was like, man, I can't sit here and tell people how somebody is or how a company is without actually having to feel that way myself. And if I don't feel the same way as those people, why am I going to write for these people?
Yeah, being passionate about the client, and then also having your values aligned with them.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
important.
I mean, as a PR person, your values don't matter. You're being paid to portray someone else's in that sense, And if those values didn't line up with mine, I just didn't want to do it, so I don't do it.
Yeah. And it's really hard to generate that passion. So is that why you feel like you've worked so well and for so long with the Verve?
No, I think with so long and so well with the Verve is there's an unspoken expectation of what there is to do here, and my goal is to always exceed that. Sometimes I meet it, and there's been plenty of times where I fail, but I just think Connie and I just have a really good working relationship here. She gives me a lot of freedom to do what I want to do, and as long as I don't mess up, and if I screw up, admit it before she finds out, and she's like, okay, well, how can we prevent this in the future? If she has to find out about it, or you were trying to hide it, that's where all of that goes south with her. And I've always just been straight up and honest with her, and I think that's why our relationship here has worked so well.
Yeah, trust.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
If you try to hide it, then you essentially don't trust her to handle it like a professional.
Right.
And then then it deteriorates the overall trust.
Yeah, if I screw something up that's going to affect her, I have to let her know. Don't let her just find out about it. She's going to be more willing to help you figure it out or how to handle it if you actually admit to doing it.
Yeah.
But if she finds out about it and you didn't even attempt to make it right, that's something that's
Yeah, exactly.
you know, that also just comes with how you approach things. I'm trying to say integrity.
Integrity
is a big part of that. Yeah.
That's just your character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you give us an example of one of your medium to major fuck ups?
Medium to major. Well, how about I give you two?
Okay.
Early on working here.
Well, first of all, how long have you been working here?
I've been here for 7.5 years.
Okay.
It'll be 8 in November.
Oh, wow. Okay.
8 years in November. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say half. It's like 4 months away.
Yeah.
5 months away.
Yeah,
it'd be half. Yeah.
About 8.5 is a good rough estimate.
Yeah.
But so early on, we had a different PA system. Like if you've never been here to the Verve and if you walked in now, you're like, wow, this is a really nice place. Not to knock the Verve 8 years ago, but it is leaps and bounds better than what it was 8 years ago. You know, it was a place that had opened up and was super nice when it first opened, but it just, as in a business like this, you have to constantly change things to keep your clientele here. If you keep making it just the exact same thing over and over, people get bored with it and then you lose.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to constantly change. You have to constantly stay with it. Old PA system, just ran into the ground. But it was still working, and I was DJing here, and one night I blew up one of the speakers. Not like kaboom, but, you know, quit working. Well, being on the stage and the speakers being in front of me, I couldn't hear it. So it just seemed like it got quieter. I was like, well, I don't know. So I just turned it up. And
blew the other one?
Didn't blow the other one, no, but pretty much fried the entire crossover, which was a part you couldn't get anymore. So I told Connie about it. I was like, this thing's blown. And she goes, well, what happened? I said, I don't know. She goes, did you do it? And I was like, probably. I said, probably. I said, I don't know for sure, but I think I probably did. I probably am the one that blew it up, and I'm extremely sorry for that. Whatever. And I think that's where our trust first began. So that's one of the minor, I would say, to medium fuck ups. You know, I screwed up an entire PA system because
it was overdue anyways.
It was overdue, but I didn't have to force her hand into it.
No, exactly.
That was kind of where I was going with it. I was like, man, you know, so I've never been without fault when it comes to blowing up speakers. If I blow something up, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I don't do it often. I'm usually really, really, really careful about it, and really, it's really at the forefront of my mind with a lot of things that I do. Constantly using my ear, so I hear little changes in the sounds and things like that. Like if I come in here, wow, I sound real nice and warm. If I come out here, I sound really airy, you know. Yeah. So I pay attention to those things throughout the night when I'm DJing, running sound for a band, whatever it may be. Major fuck up was me and another DJ here, Mr. Wizard, Josh Harvey. Hey, Josh. We had started booking. We had booked Kofresi to come here and play. He's an EDM artist out of Chicago. And the first time we booked him, we did it as a Halloween party. And, man, we had such a good night.
I was here.
You were here for it, yeah. I mean, the place was smoked. And he came in with kind of like the expectation, like, oh, what is this little place? Who are these guys that don't know what the hell they're doing, blah, blah. You could kind of see it, but he wasn't going to say it out because we gave him an opportunity. Well, he went back to his hotel room to take a nap before his show. And I'm trying to call him. We've got a line down to Chavez, you know, of people trying to get in, and we're already full, like just packed out. Both rooms just completely packed out. DJ back here with a full room at like 10:30. Front rooms smoked by 11, and we're trying to get him on so that we can get people to leave. There's people that came just for him, and then there's a line of people still trying to get in. So he comes in and plays. Get these other people out of here. Other people are going to come in, and we're going to be fine. Had to wake him up. Connie marched over to the hotel and knocked on his door and got him out of bed so he would come play his set. That was a wonderful night. Going back to the bad part of it was we did it a year later on Thanksgiving weekend and lost a ton of money. Just a ton.
No one was in town?
And nobody came out. So our thought on it was there's a lot of students that stay here in town, right?
Yeah.
Awesome way to draw people. But you have students that leave and campuses close over Thanksgiving weekend, you know, certain major holidays. Figured students would come back and then they'd go out and we have a
So
draw.
was this a Saturday night?
It was a Saturday night,
okay.
yeah, and we didn't change our normal cover policy. You know, we were literally just trying to cover having him here, and we took a bath. I mean, it was just a terrible business call, and I had to have the conversation with Connie the next day, saying, "Hey, so about last night, you know," and that went on she was pretty mad at me about that. Expected that she'd be mad about me that, you know, we didn't cover at the door for the artist, but so a little more cautious about that these days. But I owned up to it, and, you know, hey, yeah, I screwed up, and I made it right in the end. So, you know, it worked out.
Well, I think the two major holidays for packing out are St. Patty's Day and Halloween, where kids are actually around. During the breaks, I guess it's just a bad call.
The night before Thanksgiving is the largest non-holiday bar night of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the two. Well, you got New Year's, you got Halloween, you got St. Patty's Day, and coming up on that is Cinco de Mayo. It's not as crazy as it used to be, but
because everyone loves tequila and tacos.
yeah, it's a holiday based around drinking, which is the stupidest thing ever. But whatever, I don't mind it. I make money off of it. So,
yeah, right.
You know, and we did the Thanksgiving weekend. We did it on a Saturday night, and it just we tanked.
I feel like any other non-college town, it would have worked, because like El Paso's not a huge college town, but, you know, enough people stick around, or, you know, have enough family where they go there to visit. So, you know, in a place, is Evansville like that? Is it a college town? Is it?
I mean, no. I mean, you say college town, you know, and so I think of things like Bloomington or West Lafayette. You know, Indianapolis has multiple universities, but I don't think of it as a college town.
Yeah.
Now, I would think of Broad Ripple in Indianapolis, that burb of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I would think of that as a college town because of the whole makeup of shops and bars and restaurants and things that are right there off the campus of Butler. Same thing with IU. You go to downtown Bloomington, where IU's at, and everything is based around those college kids, you know. Yeah. Evansville's not that way. It's got like one strip, and it's in between both colleges. So you got University of Evansville and University of Southern Indiana. And I wouldn't see it as really a college town.
Okay. Do you plan on bringing Kofrezi back?
We're going to see where this post-COVID thing goes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Indiana State's out of session right now. Yeah. We didn't get a lot of time with them once we were able to really open back up with the students. So kind of play it a little bit by ear, come August, seeing what the student body's like, give it a couple months, you know, maybe we'll think it could be something we would think about in the spring. But if not him, you know, I mean, there's plenty of other regional, you know, touring EDM artists that we would love to have in here. It's just catching them at the right time.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they're getting back on their tours, and they're going to go do their things and make their money, and there's zero blame on any of that. But it's finding out who's going to come through without a show too close to us in a certain time frame to where people are like, oh, well, I can go here and see them instead because it's closer. You know, I want a bigger draw.
Yeah, it's almost like a comet. You can't go out to it, or you can't wait till it passes. You got to wait till it's like right next to us, and then you got to hop on it.
Yeah, 100%.
Who would you like to see here?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Top five greatest rappers of all time.
Oh.
Dylon. Because I spit hot fire, man.
You do. Really? You want me to answer that question?
Well, no, not necessarily rap. Just who would you like to see in the Verve playing?
Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, it just...
Based on available budget and you know, like clout. So you're not going to see the Edge from U2 come in here and do a surprise set.
Right, yeah. I'd love to see Freak Bass come back. I really would. I totally love listening to his music. His show is wonderful. I love the funk anyway, and he's from Cincinnati, the birthplace of funk, so he's got a nice backing, you know, and he's good friends with Bootsy Collins, who you can't even, you know, not talk about, but when it comes to the funk scene, you have to at least name drop the guy. But he's friends with him, and, you know, he plays music jams, things like that with him. I'd love to see him come back. I don't know, man. I love every single band that comes through here. I really do.
So are you here Friday nights doing the sound for the bands?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, there's some that I am going to take off.
Like if you book a show?
Yeah, if I book a DJ show somewhere else, or if I'm working with the local stagehands doing a show out at the mill, anything like that. Yeah, I took that on too. Just something else I needed to say. Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, money's money.
Money is money.
Yeah, and it's going back to integrity. As long as you're not doing something illegal or illicit.
I don't even do those shows for the money. I do that so I can watch the show from wherever I want.
Yeah. So you did the Nelly show.
I did. Yeah. That was a good time.
And then I remember I saw you, I think the day after you were here, and you said there was like an issue with the speaker, but you checked it out and there wasn't. You think?
No. They have their own audio guys that come in. I'm pretty much just a workhorse that goes in there and takes stuff off of semi trucks and puts it to the stage and then hooks it up and sends it up. Yeah, I'm not physically the sound guy for that. Okay. I'm not at that level yet. God, I'd love to, but with family and stuff, I don't want to be out on the road doing those kinds of things. But yeah, they had an issue with the feedback during the Nelly show. Right when he came on, the terrible feedback on stage, just screaming, and monitor guy got it all settled out, and it was perfectly fine.
Yeah, was it because he cups the fucking mic like all rappers do?
Yeah. No, it wasn't that at all. You got to think on a pro audio production like that. The microphones are pretty nice to where you don't have to worry about that feedback.
It just always sounds pretty so unidirectional. Tinny. Yeah. Every time you watch like a TV show and then like all 40 of them on stage hooting and hollering, it just sounds so tinny.
That is because you have so many of them cupping the mic. If you can cup a mic if you do it right, but the problem is when you get your hands over the top like this, completely around. If you hold it and leave that top out, you should be fine.
Just the bottom half, the bottom. Yeah,
just the bottom half of the mic should just be perfect. But when you do that, now you're leaving a gap for that between the end of the mic and your fingers for that sound to just kind of bounce around and just go right back into it. But yeah, I mean the feedback was, I think it was just it was a level issue. Something was too hot, and then there was a frequency that just didn't agree with them, and they got it taken out of there, and it worked out just fine. So
how long did it take?
I don't know, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, maybe at the most. I mean, I didn't pay too much attention to how long.
I was just curious.
Feedback.
But you noticed it. The duration of it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
As a pro,
somebody's pooping.
Yeah, someone dropping that hot poop.
The hot poop.
The hottest of the poops.
But yeah, so yeah, doing stuff down there. I don't know. It just something I actually just enjoy doing. I'm a gear nerd, so taking that on was good. I get to play with like big audio and big lights. And
yeah, I remember when I bought the wireless microphone thing, and it was like 4 channels, and it came with all the wireless stuff, and I tried it out, and I was like, you were there, and we were trying to figure it out, and I forgot if you asked what company it was, but I was like, oh yeah, it's Pile, and you go, oh, pile of shit. Yeah. I was like, oh, now I know.
Don't hashtag this Pile at all. Yeah. I don't want any audio companies mad at me for any reason. But
it's like, oh shit. No,
they're not my go-to. Let's just say that. I'm not going to say anything bad about them because they're doing what they do, but they're not my go-to for sure.
Well, I mean, they're for people at a certain level.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
There's that, or
entry level, they're great.
For sure. Yeah, something you're not trying to spend a ton of money on because I mean, for a good quality mic, you're going to have to you've got some.
These are okay.
These are okay microphones here. I like them.
Yeah, they're not the Shure SMB7s or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean
the standards.
God.
Yeah. I think those are like $200 or $300. These are $100. So I was like, you know what? And I think you just pay an extra $100 for that extra bracket right here.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
It's the same.
Came with the bracket.
Yeah. It's like,
buy the bracket, get the mic for free.
You know what? I'll skip that part. But
I mean, and the workhorse of most production is a Shure SM58. Things are workhorses, dude. They take beatings, they do whatever, and they're only $100 mic too. And you use them in live production. So
the omnidirectional.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what is this? A unidirectional?
Yeah, it would be more uni because if I come off to the side, you kind of see how it comes. Yeah. So yeah.
And more so a shotgun mic off the frame, and it has a small cone. That would also be unidirectional.
I would think so, but it all depends on what type of polar pattern it has. I mean, cardioid, hypercardioid,
Yeah.
supercardioid, things like that. So you would have to look into that to actually see exactly what it would be. Not all mics are made the same, even if they may look similar.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so internals and things like that are really important to it.
Do you have B&H magazines in your house? Catalogs in your house?
No, I got Google. Why save the trees, man?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you're a hippie.
Oh, yes, the hippie.
Yeah, let's talk about Paul Emge. Emge the hippie.
Emge the hippie.
Why did you stay in Terre Haute?
I graduated college, and I just wasn't I 100% wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't apply for jobs right out of college. I was like, it took me forever. I graduated in December of 2006. Took a couple semesters off, one to repay credit card debt because I was the guy that was like, credit cards are free. And another semester, so I did that twice. I stuck around. I was working at a bar and I was making good money. So I wasn't in a hurry to go anywhere. But then I took a job and started in 2007 with the Pella Window Company. And I was like, this is what I want to do. But then I was inside all of the time. And I didn't hate it so much as I would loathe the fact that I was stuck inside and I couldn't go outside.
Was it an office job?
Kind of, sort of. I did service. So I did go out and work on things, but most of the time it was go look at this and see what you can't do. Or it was Pella has a lot of hardware to their windows and things to fix it. So a lot of the fixing has to be done from inside. So I'm still inside, even though I'm working on a house, I'm stuck inside doing it. But the housing market crashed in 2008. And so the Pella window job, they weren't selling windows. They didn't need people to service the windows. So no job.
And then you didn't feel like going back to Evansville?
No. I love my family with all my heart. I honestly do. And my mom's going to see this, and I'm sorry, Mom. I love you. I still just wanted kind of like my freedom, like I didn't want people to just pop over whenever they wanted to. I just wanted to kind of separate myself a little bit from it.
So when you show up in Evansville, it's a kind of a big deal. You get together, go out to eat.
I was just down there yesterday. I didn't see anybody in my family.
Oh, well, it was just what, do you just do a turnaround? You just do the show and then come right back?
Yeah. But sometimes I try to meet up with them, I'll be like, hey, let's go get something to eat. I just did the show. I'm hungry. Let's go, but they had things going on yesterday and they totally forgot that I was even in town. So
it just happens so frequently now that it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, he was here for 2 hours. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Before it would have been like, why didn't you call us?
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Well, I tell them when I'm going to be down there, but then they forget the dates. So I just still go do my thing. And then I call them and tell them when I'm leaving so that I can tell them when I get home, and then, so somebody knows where I'm at least. And, they forgot that I was even down for a show. Had other things going on. It's whatever.
And then you have babies, right?
I've got 2 kids. Yeah.
5 and 7?
11-year-old. My daughter just turned 11 last Tuesday. And my son turned 5 in March.
5, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there was another Evan. It was 11, not 7.
Yes, it was another Evan, yes.
Yeah. Another Evan. You're like, what the fuck?
Another Evan. What? Who do I not know about?
So it's your daughter and your son. So 11, what is that, 6th grade?
Starting 6th grade this year. At Otter Creek.
Oh, okay, Otter Creek. Yeah. I subbed there once. And then your son just turned 5, so that's 1st grade.
Kindergarten.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess 6, 7 would be 1st grade.
Yeah.
Holy. Are you excited?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, getting to watch them grow up is one of the greatest things ever,
Yeah.
It really is. You don't think about that when you're a kid, but
definitely not when you're a kid.
How much your parents are enjoying just watching you grow and learn things. And I totally love my son's passion for anything new that he encounters, even at the age of 5. Like when they're babies, look at something green.
Yeah.
Let's go. What's it taste like? That's cool. But like him discovering other things or like things that he can do, like, because his motor skills are starting to come around and things of that nature. That I really enjoy. My daughter, she's preteen, hormonal, and it's like,
yeah,
get out of my house.
Yeah, middle school.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
8th grade's gonna be the worst because they're the kings and queens of that small turd mountain, and then they just take it out on anyone.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Your words get turned against you faster than you can say them, and it's absolutely
Yeah.
the most insane thing ever. And I know I probably did that to I text my parents about once a week and just say, I'm sorry. Like, my bad. When they say you get it worse, man, I was terrible. I must have just been awful.
Are they excited then?
My parents, yeah, they're pretty excited.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Your kids
Kids excited.
about the next transition, like
Oh,
your
yeah.
son going to actual school.
He is, yeah, because he did pre-K there at Terrytown.
Oh, okay.
So he did half-day pre-K, and
So he already got his foot in the water.
yeah,
Dipped his toe in the water.
he's a little bit there, and actually, he's super excited to start kindergarten, and most kids are, you know. It's socializing for them. It's their time to learn to socialize with other people, and yeah, his favorite is the thing he's most excited about though, and he'll tell you this is square pizzas.
Like, is there a company that specializes in
school
square?
pizza. School
Oh,
pizza.
school
Square.
pizza.
School pizza is
Oh,
square.
okay, I
They're
see.
rectangles, but he calls it square.
Because I get a pizza from Kroger that's a square, and I was just like, okay, like in general, like okay, but
no,
specifically the school.
Yeah, because with his pre-K, he was there in the early part of the day, so he didn't get to eat lunch. Now in kindergarten, it's full day. He gets to eat lunch there, and he's most excited about square pizzas.
That's so funny.
Yeah, he's a character.
And then your daughter going into the 6th grade. I know she I guess last year for 5th grade they had them back in school, even though it was kind of weird. The first semester.
Yeah, and it was even more weird. God, I feel so bad for this kid because she was at St. Pat's, in 4th grade, and her school year ended abruptly because of COVID.
Yeah,
and so we brought her into the public schools. We made the decision to go into public schools with her, and then once it came time for all of this to happen, the uncertainty with the school systems themselves and how they were going to operate. So she had a really weird transition into a brand new school, dealing with all the COVID stuff. So this is actually going to be her first time going into a new building without crazy unknown restrictions. You're going to know the basic ones that you're going to have right now. Probably still wear a mask when you go in.
I think they're going to cut that. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I'm going to wear my mask in the hallway regardless, just because kids fart a lot. And that's where they let it out. Mm-hmm. And but in the classroom, I'm going to try to limit like classroom discussions. Just take precautions, but I feel like for the most part we're over the hump, and so we'll just see if like the other variants pick up steam. But as far as like the original, I guess, COVID and that specific variant that just spread through everywhere and destroyed everything, I feel like that specific one is over. And so next year when we go back, we won't be mandated to do social distancing or wear masks. We'll just be advised to be cautious. Cautionary advisement. Yeah. And it sucks too, I guess, for her, because having come from St. Pat's and then going to Terrytown, she doesn't have that foundation of friends moving into middle school. Because like, when we went to elementary school, most of those kids went with us to middle school, and then they were kind of like our transition into finding other friends from the other elementary schools.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly how it is. I mean, that's how it is here too. I think because I think Terrytown, Rio Grande, and maybe one other school feed into Otter Creek. Yeah. I couldn't tell you what the other school is, but
not Lost Creek. I think Lost Creek might.
Lost Creek's way out east.
Yeah, that might feed into Wilson.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably something like that.
Yeah.
But but it was really her last day of school. She fought trying to make friends. She made friends with one girl that just wasn't good for her at all, manipulative and all that stuff. Preteen girls.
Yeah.
Mean girls. She made friends with the mean girls. Well, she didn't like it because she didn't want to be a mean girl, and she didn't like being mean too, having girls be mean to her. So she. Last day of school, there were like 8 girls that live in our neighborhood that asked for her phone number and said, hey, whatever you're doing this summer, let us know, blah, blah, blah. And so she made like 8 new friends on the last day, and that was the happiest we'd seen her all year. So I was just really, really, really excited about it.
And is she hanging out with them this summer?
When she's not doing camps, yes.
Oh, like basketball camp and what kind of camps? Like not camping.
Well, she's doing
camping camp?
No, not camping camp. Like she does like soccer camps.
Yeah, okay.
She plays on travel soccer, so we put her in soccer camps for that.
Oh, that's right. That's
Man.
why we had to wait a few weeks for that season. Yeah.
That and T-ball with the 5-year with Ryan.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
She's doing that. She's doing some other camp this week, on police academy camp or something. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. She says she wants to do something, and it's like, oh, $35 for a babysitter for a week. Okay, I'll take it.
$35 a week?
Yeah, it was like $35 for the camp, and she's there from 8 to 3:30. So it's like her being in school. Yeah, for $35 for the whole week.
Oh, I totally forgot that these camps double as
daycares.
Yeah, daycare.
Yeah. See, so not only are you stimulating them, but free daycare.
Yeah. Someone's legally watching them.
Yes.
And then they're also able to socialize.
Yeah,
which
100%.
is the key.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to ask you for some advice on being a dad, a Hoshin father, a Hoshin transplant.
I don't know if I'm the one for that conversation. But.
Well, you just gave me that great bit of advice. I didn't realize about summer camps.
Yeah.
That's why I was curious, like how you're able to get out during the week and then do some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a daycare that they go to. I mean, she's 11. So she's probably somewhat close to being able to stay home by herself.
And not answer the door.
And not answer the door, keep her phone on her. And if somebody tries to do anything, call. We also have a great security system. I've got 2 Great Danes, and people just don't like big dogs anyway.
Yeah.
And, well, they're the biggest of dogs. So, I don't mind leaving her at home with them because they're honestly, they're big babies, but they're also great protectors.
Oh, yeah.
So she's getting close to that age where I'm ready to just let her stay home when she, by herself.
Yeah. What is the legal? It's like 12 or 13 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, she's got at least a year left, but I mean, God, I remember, Jesus Christ, I want to say I was probably 9 years old coming home with the key to my house.
Latchkey kid.
Lost that key all the time. Lost it all the time.
Yeah, I was a latchkey kid too. And if not like directly, if my mom was working, if she got the night shift at the factory, then she was always sleeping. So we basically came home to no parent.
Yeah. I mean, my parents got off at 5, so they were home, 2 hours. I just had to stay home for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we lived in a neighborhood. I grew up in a townhouse, so an apartment complex, but they put the townhouses along the front,
I see. Yeah.
So I grew up there, and ton of kids, and then those kids had parents that didn't work. So I mean, it was it was a different time. You didn't have to worry about all the things you have to worry about now with society. But I could go home and then I could just go hop on my bike with my buddies and just go do whatever, and just stay within our little community because there was plenty of things to do: swimming pool, tennis court, basketball court, playgrounds, things of that nature.
Relatively safe. Relatively. A relative high amount of safety.
Yeah, and then we lived right across the street from a Catholic school, but they had basketball courts, playgrounds, baseball fields, so we always had something to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of like that's why I like where we live now. Mm-hmm. We're like a 10-minute walk from Devaney.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bennett's gonna get to go there. So it was so funny. I was texting with my wife, and then we're talking about plans in the future, and then talking about moving somewhere. I was like, we'll talk about that in 10 years when we move. And she goes, why 10 years? I was like, because we want Bennett to go to Devaney. That's 5 years to grow up, and then another 5 years to attend the school. And I think just that amount of time blew her mind. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm thinking 11 years ago my daughter was born.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, it was that long ago. I mean, that's crazy. Just think, New Year's Day 2 years ago was 2019.
Yeah,
or it was 2020.
Yeah.
Come New Year's Day, 2020 was 2 years ago.
And then
it's crazy to think.
3 months later, the world shut down.
And then 3 months, 2 years and 3 months later. Yeah. It's crazy. It's when you have kids, your time just goes so much quicker.
Yeah. And I'm kind of excited about that too, because I
want it to be over.
I felt like the first 30 years of my life definitely the first 18 just took forever. I don't know what, just being in high school and having no direction and no ambition just took forever. And then it started to pick up. And then when I went to Korea, it felt like forever, but it was a good time. So it felt nice. And then coming back here, it was just like one thing after the other. I moved here, then I moved to Vegas, and then I moved back here. Then we get the house, the kid.
Did you want to go to Korea?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see where the difference is? You didn't want to go to high school. You
Oh, yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to go. When
yeah.
you do the things that you want
Yeah,
to
that
do,
you
your
wanna
time
do.
goes faster.
Yeah.
Except with the exception of kids, when your kids do something that you don't want to do, but you are obligated because you are the parent, like feed them and things like that. That time goes by really slow, but the time as a whole goes by really fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you get kids, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a saying for basic training in the military where it's like the days drag, but the weeks fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah. But it's funny because a lot of people have told me like to cherish these moments because they'll go by so quickly. Like before you know it, he'll be in kindergarten and stuff like this. So like every time I feed him, I really take the time to like appreciate what's going on.
Yeah.
And, he gets easily distracted. Sometimes I'll watch YouTube on the TV or whatever, but then he'll like look at the screen and like it's just so great hanging out with him. And then just like we were talking about earlier, like discovering the world, like just as a kid, he's starting to, his core is tightening, so he's starting to stabilize himself so he can sit upright for longer. So that means he has access to a different world. And then he's always had strong legs, so like he could always prop himself up when we hold him. But now he's starting to develop.
Wait till he gets started like going places.
Yeah, exactly.
How old is he now?
6.5 months.
6.5 months. Oh yeah, he's getting close, man. If he's standing up already.
Yeah.
Both my kids were walking at 7 and 8 months.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, by 10 months they were climbing on the back of the couch. Just little animals, dude, just going everywhere and
so we're gonna hang the TV. We're gonna move. We have 2 end tables. We're gonna move those out, and then we're gonna like gate the living room off, and then that's just gonna be his place to roam.
Yeah.
And then once we're confident, then we can open up the dining room, and then just
invest in pool noodles. You cut them in half.
Yeah, exactly.
And put them on corners. Yeah.
Yeah, on the corner. Yeah, well, just we want to put them on the entire edge.
Yeah, well, it's easier to do it that way too.
Yeah, of everything, and then that way he's just free, and we know he's not getting into the cabinets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like it's so weird the access to different worlds, to different perspectives as they grow, and then now like your son, just with pre-K, having access to that social world, but then now it's going to be full day, so it's going to be completely different.
Completely different, yeah. I mean, but he'll probably still go do his daycare after school. So during preschool, he did his morning, and then we had a friend whose daughter, same class as him, pick him up and then take him to daycare, and then she would take her daughter home, whatever. But he's still going to go back to that because now he can actually ride the bus from school to the daycare. So he can do that as well with his sister until she turns 12. Well, no, she'll be at a different school, so she can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Yeah, he'll get to ride a school bus. Something else for him to be excited about.
Yeah, exactly. And then daycare, what, until 5?
Yeah. Or whenever I get home from doing whatever it is I'm doing on the day.
Oh, okay.
Usually down the street and helping them out with things down there at the mix. Or
where is the main mix?
Main mix, it is at 1710 Wabash Avenue.
Oh, so
for all your music accessory needs.
So it's near the Restore.
Yeah. The Restore is right, just catty corner from it.
19th, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, just catty corner.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at their guitars and I was like, I do not have that kind of money. I got formula money, so I ended up buying like $100 Greenwood guitar, small wood. I don't know, just a cheap guitar.
Cheap one to learn on. I mean, that's the number one thing. Learn before you spend the money on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've played since I was in high school, but then I took like a 15-year break. I'm getting back into it, and I'm just like, how did my fingers move so easily before? And I'm just like, oh man, just like, ugh.
Arthritis didn't kick in yet. Now it's like
okay. So I used
blood flow was better.
Yeah, I used to play StarCraft 2, and I stopped like a year and a half ago because I got a ganglion cyst, and then I went and worked out, and I guess doing the bench press popped it, and then it was just weird because it felt like, obviously it's fluid, but it just felt like, it's hard to describe. It felt like bleach water.
Oh, so it burned real bad?
Not burned real bad. It just felt light
and
weird. Yeah, and then it popped, and I was like, okay, cool. I dodged a bullet. Let me keep playing because I'm an idiot. And then I kept playing, and then I got another one. I was like, I'm done forever, and I haven't been back to play. But then now in those spots, it hurts whenever I play the guitar. And I was like, oh, shit.
Is that gonna cause? Is it gonna cause another?
No, it won't cause another one because of the way that you hold the guitar, because you bend it this way as opposed to a mouse.
Oh,
yeah,
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah. So
I'm not a gamer, so I couldn't. You said whatever it was. I was thinking Xbox.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah. Oh, no, yeah. And so now I just have to like actually work out, but then like work out my hands and my wrists, so that way I can go back to playing the guitar.
I got you.
Because I want to do like a parody type deal, like country music, because it's just so dumb. So
Meh.
it's just so dumb. The pop stuff now,
Right?
Yeah. The original country, is great.
Yeah. Country died after when the '90s ended. It became pop. It became pop music almost.
Yeah. It's just like how do we generate revenue?
Thanks, American Idol.
Yeah.
But
Carrie Underwood,
Taylor Swift.
Oh, she was on American Idol?
I want to say she was. I thought so. Maybe not.
Maybe. I know Carrie Underwood was.
Yeah.
Trisha Yearwood? No, I don't
No.
think. Trisha's older.
Tim McGraw's wife.
Yeah. Tim McGraw? No, Tim McGraw's married to Faith Hill.
Okay, yeah. I'd see. I don't know anything about country music, so.
Yeah. I know the superficial conversational shit.
Yeah. I appreciate what they do. It just strikes my ear weird, so I avoid it.
Yeah, the pop stuff is just the same song. I like that YouTube mix where they got 6 different songs and then cut them so that way they flow into each other, and it's the same chord progressions, the same melody.
Yeah. I mean that's one reason I can't get into country music. To me, not to say that what they're doing isn't good, but for me personally, it just doesn't strike my ear right. And it never has. Country music. The progression of it was real country music, and what I think of country music is like kind of like today's hip hop. I can't stand today's rap. I personally I can't stand it. It's all about the beats. But when I grew up, it was about the stories.
Yeah, it was about the stories. It was about the lyricism. It was about the flow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing I hated about that is when it got commercialized and you had Master P and you had Diddy rapping, not producing, and it was just, glitz and glam, and I was like, I hate all of this.
I loved Master P.
Yeah,
I really did. Yeah. Ghetto D is probably my favorite song by Master P. And maybe it's just because of the entrance.
No, I like...
or the intro, not the entrance.
The intro. I got to check that out.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
I don't know.
I want to. I like the old school, Naughty by Nature, Diggable Planet.
Oh, Diggable Planets, yeah, for sure. I'm a Slick Rick, Q-Tip kind of guy. I mean, that's for me. It was their flow was what it was for me. I mean, just so smooth and just, yeah.
And then now it's all about the triplets. It's all about the mumble rap. I mean, there's talent. Obviously producing those beats, it's commercially viable. But at the same time, like you said, it just doesn't catch my ear.
So all it's about is, oh, look at this guy. We could take this guy and we could this guy or gal. I shouldn't say one way or the other. We should take this person and let's monetize the hell out of them until people are tired of them, and then we dump them. We'll give them a bunch of money. We'll make all the money we possibly can off of them. And then we're going to leave them alone to do whatever they...
It's kind of like K-pop.
Yeah.
Except, except they're not groomed from a young age.
Right, yeah.
But basically, it's just like, you're a variable in a major formula. Mm-hmm. And you don't make or break that formula.
No.
Yeah. And then the trick is to get them right at that level where they do kind of make that formula, but then once they exceed it, then they can do it kind of whatever they want, like BTS.
I mean, who is going to turn something like that down? Somebody's going to throw you $2-3 million to make this music videos, and not to say that they're not talented, but if you were to turn that down, guess what? They don't care. There's somebody else that's going to take that.
Waiting in the wing.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% a job, even though it's artistry. But I mean, you still have to train yourself to do it. But yeah, the music industry is.
Well, it's also about discipline, like you said, approaching it like a job.
Yeah.
So what are you doing online to reach a bigger audience? Are you growing an online presence?
What's that? I don't know. I post when I'm playing shows. that's it. You know, I'm not a big social media type person. I do sometimes if I have a few and I'm feeling frisky, I'll get on my Snapchat or my Instagram and I'll take some videos and post them up, whatever. It doesn't happen often. Social media is second thing in my mind at all times.
So you don't use
actually
it
even worse than that. I use it occasionally.
not as a promotional tool.
No,
but
not really.
Just for posting flyers.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Yeah, I do that. I don't make announcements of anything. Oh, hey, I'm gonna be doing this show here. You know, I do on pretty much it's day of, or if I happen to get the flyer ahead of time, then I'll put something out and then I'll put it out again the day of. But it's nothing that I just put a ton of focus into.
Well, usually it feels like usually the venue has a following.
Mm-hmm.
They have a clientele,
Yeah,
and you're just stepping in and entertaining them.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm just stepping in or entertaining. You know, I would think that I had somewhat of a hand in the scene or the vibe that's put out here.
Oh no, but okay, yeah.
But so I'm not out there trying to reach new people because the venue itself has a clientele that they want to reach out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to get new people out there. Always want new people to come through the door. Don't get me wrong. That's always great to have more exposure. But on the social media side, I don't have a ton of followers and I've never put a ton of effort into it. Been preoccupied with other things, so not trying to branch my wings out as far. That's coming to change, but it's not quite there yet. And not that I ever want to leave here.
Yeah.
God forbid. I love this place. I love the wonderful woman that I work for. She's always taken care of me, offered me other opportunities if they've arisen, and given me more responsibility and trusted me with those responsibilities. So I don't see myself leaving here anytime soon. I'm almost 40, so there is going to be a time coming up, where it will be my time to depart. And I hope that it's later rather than sooner. But not working a corporate job anymore and still trying to make up from COVID. I'm getting a bit busier and taking on other things because, DJing to a bunch of young kids, you could do that up to a certain age. But, man, at a certain point, you kind of lose touch with reality on what they're into and what you're into. And I've learned multiple things. One, I hate drunken idiots, but I've learned to deal with them.
Yeah.
Point of views, feelings about how things should be, those are drastically changing. And when I start feeling the way that I can't relate to these kids at any point on any level and they're all just stupid idiots, that's the time for me to step out.
Yeah.
And I'm not there yet. I mean, I did my stupid stuff when I was a kid too, so I can't blame them for doing drunken stupid stuff when they're 21, But I don't see myself leaving here anymore, but I am going to have to branch out at a certain point because then I'm going to have other things to move on to. There are bars and cocktail lounges and things that do brunches of people that are more in my age range.
Yeah.
For me to step into something like that would be something that I would easily be more successful at. I don't have to work as hard for it. Definitely going to work hard for it, and it's starting to come to fruition. But once that all comes together, I think I'll have a bigger social media presence.
Okay.
Because then I'm going to have to start reaching out into people in my age range and not just a general community of downtown Terre Haute.
Yeah, and then plus with these kids these days, you have to be on Snapchat or Instagram Live, and then with people our age, you have to be on Facebook.
Yeah.
And regular Instagram.
I mean, for our age, to be dead honest with you, Twitter is still really hot for people our age. Because, my parents never got on Twitter. They never got a Twitter account. By God, they're Facebook fanatics, though. I'll tell you what,
yeah,
they're always on Facebook. So my parents ruined Facebook for me for the most part. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. But Twitter is actually still one of the best platforms to go out there and actually try to spread your word. I know that Instagram and Snapchat and all this and that, but man, there's so many people on those platforms that you just kind of get lost in the mix unless somebody's specifically looking for you.
Yeah.
And it's all about likes and the serotonin or whatever.
Social clout. Yeah.
I'm
those
just
dopamine, that low grade dopamine hit.
Yeah, I'm not out for clout by any means.
Yeah.
I just want to do what I love to do, and then when it's time for me to be done, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no, and then what I was talking about earlier about you like going into an established bar or whatever, it's not necessarily like people are going out specifically to see you, but that they're just going out to have a good time and you're a good DJ, and so it just mixes well. But if you were to have an event like Paul Emge presents one night,
DJ Ellipsis presents.
DJ Ellipsis
I'm doing
presents,
a show, yeah.
Yeah, one night, will people show up for that? Or do you have to promote that much more heavily?
Would probably promote that much more heavily. I mean, obviously, if I'm going to go throw and completely financially back an event, I'm going to have to put money into it to get money back out of it. But I mean, if I'm doing an event like that, yes, I would promote it myself. I don't necessarily know on my page, but if I'm going to do that, I'm going to be smart about it. I'm going to use somebody with a bigger following than me. You know, if I'm going to say DJ Ellipsis presents DJ Ellipsis, that doesn't work. You know? But if I'm like just for example, DJ Ellipsis presents Pretty Lights or Grizz or any of these major artists, or even Kofresi, for example, or Blunts and Blondes or Good Sex, guys out of Chicago, I'm using those guys for their following, right? That'll help me draw some just by natural if I have my tag on there or whatever, but I'm not, I'm using their platform more so than I'm using my own.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. I like that shit. And going back to whenever you can't relate to these kids and what they're, their shit.
Yeah.
I feel like now it's just like music talks. As long as you play the music they want to hear, everything's fine. Yeah. But then once their musical changes taste and you're not able to adapt to it, then it's time to.
Yeah, I'm having being here, it's really nice because I've got young guys DJing with me that that I guess their taste is a little closer to it's closer, if not within the exact same realm as these other kids. I just with DJing, I also don't want to promote how to make drugs and how to sell drugs. And some of the most outspoken people are these hip hop artists, about certain social issues, but then they go into their songs and they're talking like those social issues don't even matter.
Yeah.
So
beating women.
I mean, well, just demeaning women. It doesn't even have to be a physical aspect, just demeaning them by, making them sexual objects and things of this nature. I don't know, the hypocrisy of it just kind of, it's like Sunday Christians, it doesn't appease me at all.
Yeah. What is it?
I don't want to promote that.
Well, there's another term. It's like holiday Christians or Easter Christians, something like that.
Easter Christians, the one they go to church one time a year and it's on Easter,
Yeah.
Or Sunday Christians, they're Christians on Sunday.
Yeah, for that 1 hour and then they're back on the road flipping people off.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Don't want to be either one of those. And within the DJ world, it's the exact same thing. I'm not going to promote you being that person. I don't walk around and promote Christianity for that exact reason, I'm not going to go promote your music for the exact same reason as the Christianity thing.
Yeah. Are you a Christian?
I am.
Oh, okay.
My views
Catholic?
are no.
No, just because you mentioned St. Pat's.
Yeah. Well, no, we did that. But our daughter went to St. Pat's because we were thinking of the educational opportunity there.
I see.
Smaller class sizes, things of that nature. It was going to be beneficial for her in the long run to go there. But then it became just not feasible for us anymore. So she got a pretty good head start. She got her first 4 years plus kindergarten and 2 years of pre-K in there. But yeah, we couldn't make it work out throughout the whole time she was
the pandemic
would be there. Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't even just the pandemic. It was drive across, get her up early, drive across town, and then have to drive back across town for work and then back across town to pick her up. And,
because you're up north by Otter Creek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Way up north. Yeah.
And then St. Pat's is just right here.
And St. Pat's is down in the dead center of town. So
5 minutes.
Trains.
Oh man.
And trains.
Yeah. So that train hit on Walnut, and then it started slowing down. I was like, oh, this is gonna stop. I better get on the other end. So I head all the way north, and then there's a major street before Locust, and I saw a bunch of cars turn there, and I was like, you know what? I bet it's gonna pass soon, but let me just go check. And then when I get to Locust, there's this big semi trying to make a turn, so no one can make that left-hand turn, and then all this shit. So I missed it, and then by the time I'm able to make the turn, I see all these cars heading towards us, and I was like, the train just passed. So like if I would have turned earlier, I would have been part of that crew. But
yeah,
but it is what it is.
it is what it is.
Haul ass down 7th.
Can't sit still, man. Just got to keep moving.
Right. They're sharks.
Keep moving forward.
No, the reason I mentioned the whole social media thing is because I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, it might have been in Vegas a year ago, but I got into this weird YouTube channel where it's like this guy who will get a bunch of different eclectic music genres like Brazilian jazz or like Portuguese salsa or whatever. And then he'll just mix them. So it's just an hour with a camera over his 2 turntables.
Yeah.
He just plays the shit, goes and gets coffee, and then that's all you see is just, and you hear obviously the music, but you just see the record spinning and you just see this dude drinking coffee. Yeah. So I was thinking, man, I really would like to get with you and do something like that where you spin like obscure 90s hip hop or 80s hip hop or, you know, just like weird country music or whatever.
Oh, that'd be so hard for me to do, man.
And we'll just set up the GoPro with a top shot. Okay. And then what I'm thinking now, while we were talking earlier, is there's another shot from the side that has the depth of field. So we only see your table and then everything else is blurred. Okay. And then it's just you spinning. That's it.
Like, is he sitting there actually mixing these records?
Yeah, he'll let it play for however many minutes, and then I don't know what it's called.
So he just transitions from one song to another.
Yeah, what is it called? Beat matching.
Yeah, yeah. Is he actually beat matching though, or is it just going from one song to another?
Because
if he's okay.
Yeah, I'll have to find out.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of prep, but yeah, we'll go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to find a bunch of records.
Do you have a bunch of records?
I've got a bunch of records, but I wouldn't say I've got enough to give you more than 5 10 minutes.
Don't you have the digital turntables?
No, mine are actually analog.
Those
the time code. Yeah.
Oh, that's what those are?
I use time codes. So yeah, all my music's on my laptop. It's just that those records are pressed, and when you put the needle on it, that sends a signal or a tone. That's why they call it control tone. It sends a tone to tell the computer how it goes into my mixer and then comes back out digitally via USB cable and tells my computer program how fast my record player is spinning or what the record is doing at that time in real time. So there's no actual music on those records.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a tone.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I guess I could do that. We could get a really long USB cable, keep the computer out of the shot if that's what you want to do.
Oh, it wouldn't have to be that long. It'd just be like from here to there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's something we could do. Or I could get actual vinyl records and gives me a reason to buy more records. I could get a bunch of vinyl records and we could actually flip some vinyls. But yeah,
Oh, you know what we should do? Oh, isn't there a record day or whatever it is?
Record store day was 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, but where's the record store?
The local vinyl.
Okay, that's in 12 Points, right?
Yep.
You should partner with them where you
do it in their shop.
Doing in the shop where
she's got some nice comfy chairs kind of like this. We can go to a
yeah. And then so you borrow like a library. How many songs you fit in an hour?
Oh God.
12 to 15 records. You figure out the songs, how you're going to put them together. Yeah. And then we have a live show where people come in and they get to enjoy, cocktails or whatever, or coffee, and they just get to hang out with Paul spinning records, and then we'll film it.
Spinning some of my favorite tunes.
Yeah, film it and put it on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Another project for me.
It's the same. All right, George. I can fit you in about September of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do something like that before I found out about the lounge, and I was like, oh, it'd be perfect in the Verve. We got that thing up top. We can put a camera.
You got the stage right there.
Yeah. And then so we packed this out. My original plan like 4 years ago was to have this turn into like a dance night. So like...
Rest in peace, Rave Cave.
Rave Cave, right? Well, we would have comedy before, and then the people would stick around for the dancing or whatever. But, there's just two different clientele. So yeah, it just wouldn't work. But Rave Cave.
What do you think about the new lounge, though? In all honesty,
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it. I wish they had a bit more of the yellow lights peppered throughout. Maybe like these
the
tungsten bowls. Edisons. Yeah. A few more, just a little bit lower though. Yeah, I love this mantle. This is going to be the backdrop for the album. We're going to record the album on August 15th, Sunday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we'll invite you out to that, Levi and I. Oh, and then, so that stage does move. Connie said that it's just super heavy. So we'd have to like prop it up, put some sliders underneath, and then slide it over here. And then, put the mantle on top and then the rug on top. And so we want to arrange the sofas in a line in the front and then the chairs with tables in the back. And it's going to be a super chill feel. And then we'll have the long focal lens in the back. I have all the cameras set up, positioned around the room. And then I want to put it on YouTube for free with accepting donations.
Okay.
And then start a publishing company and then release the CD on Apple Music and all that stuff, iTunes and all that stuff.
Right on.
Yeah. So
you're trying to go do the CD baby type thing where you just handle all the stuff to get distribution out, or is that what you're trying to go towards?
No, I don't want to do like physical CDs. It'll just be digital. But
right. Well, CD Baby is a company that gets you like into like Spotify and all those things. So is that kind of like the same thing that you're trying to go through?
Yeah, I was just gonna do it myself.
Yeah,
though.
no,
yeah,
that's perfect. Well, you said start a publishing company, so I was like, is that kind of the same route you're trying to go?
Oh yeah.
Are you taking on clients, or are you?
No, just for myself.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'd be doing with
Teaching's too important, right?
with a publishing company. It's just like, oh man,
yeah,
I wouldn't know what.
You said start a publishing company. I was like, oh,
yeah,
really?
just for my shit.
But just for you. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. See where that goes, and if it doesn't go anywhere, then I'm done with comedy. That's fine.
At least you tried, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At least you tried.
Then I have something like tangible to bookend that time of my life.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I don't have any kind of memorabilia from my time in Korea. Just a brain full of memories, but to be actually, and then I want to print a few CDs.
Right.
And so there's going to be the family photo from when I was like 4 and my brother was 2, or it was like 1 and 3. And we were all in our Korean outfits. And so that'll be the CD cover. And then on the back, when we were much older, I think it was like 8 and 6 with my dad. So that'll be the back cover. So
Okay. Excuse me, dry throat.
that's fine. So I'm excited about that. But man, it's good talking. I wanted to get into some political stuff and shit like that, but we'll save that.
Yeah, I'm not going to share any of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I stay out of those. I'll give you my general thought on politics. They all suck. None of them care about you. They just care about your ballot every 4 years, and that's pretty much just about it. That's my view on it. I'm not anti-government, but I think our current government, it's just power grab.
Yeah. Okay.
Either side of the aisle.
Yeah.
And it's just basically what platform are you using to grab your power. That's all it is. So,
and along with
there's
that,
politics.
Yeah. And along with that is attention grabbing.
Yeah.
It's like do the one whatever it takes to constantly be in the news cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's why I feel like Trump was a master of that. But it's so funny because I imagined Biden's term just being nothing but havoc, because of Trump constantly going after him and tweeting and stuff. And then the big tech company was like, nope. And it's like he never existed.
Yeah.
It's so eerie for him to be so prominent for 4 years and then to go to nothing.
It's crazy to show how much power like
the current government has.
Or just big companies have to just completely silence you.
Well, yeah, because I mean, he could go on Fox News. He could go on, television and do all this kind of stuff, release, whatever on but it's like he completely disappeared. Mm-hmm. It's so eerie.
Yeah. And some of that is probably of his own doing. I mean, just go down to Mar-a-Lago and just disappear from everybody.
Yeah.
It may be a club, but it's your club. You can control who comes in, who goes out, what comes in, what comes out. So no cameras get in, no cameras get in. It's his private property. He can keep whatever in or out he wants. So.
Which is such a huge departure from what we had for 4 years.
Oh yeah, just super loud and just constant,
pervasive.
Yeah,
and then
I
boop,
don't know.
He's like Kaiser Soze.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Kaiser Soze.
Who's Kaiser Soze?
Oh, you haven't seen The Usual Suspects?
I don't watch TV, man.
It's an old movie,
dude. I don't. I just my phone's going off. Silence. I don't get into.
But you're a music buff.
But I'm a music guy.
Yeah.
I'd
Okay.
rather sit and listen to music than watch something.
It's a completely different
With music,
format.
with sitting and listening to music, I can focus and do something else while I'm listening to music.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I can't watch a TV show and completely focus on something else.
Yeah, you can partially invest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by
Thanks for having me.
having a chat. I don't want to hold
Thanks
you up
everybody else.
too much longer. Yeah, thank you for 99 Time Capsule. Check us out, facebook.com/99 Time Capsule. And check DJ Ellipsis out at facebook.com/
DJ
The-
Ellipsis.
the
The Verve. Verve Nightclub.
The Verve
Nightclub.
What is it? 812 Verve?
No, I think I don't know.
Their URL is something specific, but then Verve Nightclub, and you can see when DJ Ellipsis will be here. Generally every Thursday and Saturday.
I get 2 Thursdays, 2 Saturdays a month, and it kind of rotates because we've got 4 other DJs here. So
so it's usually
or 3
two?
other DJs here.
So it's 2 and
Yeah,
a night?
two DJs a night, and we're on random rotation. Just depends on if guys have gigs out of town.
So you could be
or not.
opening or closing depending on that night.
Yeah, we kind of switch back and forth throughout the night. So.
Okay.
So, but when there's 2 guys scheduled, you're guaranteed to get both of those guys for the whole night. So usually we do 30s and kind of switch back and forth.
So it's you, Scout, Wizard, and who's the fourth?
Smiles.
Smiles.
Yeah,
Gigante is gone?
He's been gone for a while.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. Smiles. With a Z?
Smiles. Yes. Smylez.
Oh.
Smiles.
Real quick before you go, do you all specialize in a specific type of music, or do you just all do dance?
Obviously I'm an old head, so I specialize in older music. I really like doing 2000s pop and hip hop, especially to this crowd because it's something they can still relate to. I mean, 21-year-olds were born in the 2000s, so which is weird to think about too. Right?
Yeah, but it's weird because of how ubiquitous streaming services are and everything.
Yeah.
It's still pervasive.
Yeah, very much so. But I mean, they grew up and their parents were listening to that music. You know, Scout does a lot of top 40. It just hit after hit. Mr. Wizard and Smiles, they're producers too, so they do a lot of bass music. Experimental bass, kind of weird stuff, but it's their thing. But they come in and their sets usually have more of an electronic feel to it than mine or Scouts would. Mine probably has more of an old school hip hop feel to it, where Scouts has got heavy hitters trap music feel to it. So
okay, well, I'm gonna
check us out.
Yeah, check us out. Check them out. Check me out. All right, check it out. All
Check
right.
him out.
All right, bye everybody.